Before I get into the details of some of the elements of this tap handle, I did want to mention that I kind of confirmed a bit of information, but some of it seems a little bit unclear about Otter Creek Brewing Company. One of the things that's kind of funny about beer and breweries is that sometimes you're not quite sure, like, what brewery is actually owned by what company or some of that. And with Otter Creek, apparently they were a independent brewery that was acquired by Long Trail, and I believe that Long Trail was recently acquired by Harpoon. So, or by the parent company that owns Harpoon. So I'm actually not entirely sure who owns Otter Creek at this point, or kind of like what company it falls under, but it's always amusing how that stuff sort of happens. With this tap handle is kind of an interesting tap handle for a few reasons, and I'll get into this. It is in pretty good condition overall, so I did want to mention that. But there's a couple things about it. So first of all, with the actual main portion of the handle itself, this is a solid piece of wood that has the edges kind of angled there on both sides. So here and there and there and there and there. And that's something that typically is done by a lot of the American tap handle producers. So a lot of them are more likely to be a local maker or local crafter or something like that that does a lot of the base work and then has stickers produced and stuff like that to kind of like finish off the tap. So I'm not quite sure who produced them, but it does have the signs of that. And then in addition to that, you've got this top section here, and you'll notice this is a little bit rough on the edges there. So that I would expect it would have been cut out with like a jigsaw or scroll saw, bandsaw, something similar. And then you do have this area here that's cut out. A lot of times that'll be done either with a laser cutter or a CNC if it's produced like locally in the US. Another thing to note as well is this top portion here. This is a separate sticker that is on both sides. So you do, if you are picking one up, you do want to make sure that both of them there. And then in addition to that, you've got these ones here on this side, and these ones are raised stickers. And I don't know if these ones have gotten a little bit better, but I have noticed that in the past, sometimes these will kind of curl with age and they'll peel off a little bit. So that is something to note about anytime that you're seeing a sticker like that. You do want to be careful with them. You may see some aging that'll occur as they get older. Another thing that's interesting that I don't know if you can quite see here, but a lot of times these will be a standard insert. This one is a slightly different one that I don't know if you can see in there, but you actually see a little screw. So essentially they put the insert in and then they screw it in to keep that in place. That's something that I don't see as much with the wooden tap handles. I see that a little bit more with the metal ones where they're doing that to connect to another element that's going through the tap handle to kind of provide stability and hold everything in place. So, a couple of interesting things about this tap handle. Another thing to note is this is a relatively tall tap handle. So this one is about 14 inches tall. So that means that if you have that on in display in the rest of your collection, it's going to be among the taller tap handles that you have.